Hi guys, so we are officially in lockdown since Friday. Today is Sunday, which makes it day 3. And we started a couple of days ago by talking about informal traders, undocumented workers in South Africa, domestic maintenance staff, ways we can help them, support them. Those of us who are lucky enough who we're not financially impacted by the lockdown, then obviously we've budgeted for particular expenses around the house, and part of those expenses will include the cost of labor, the cost of staff, and I strongly encouraged everyone to continue budgeting as normal. I shared with you that I myself am doing this. I'm very fortunate to be in a digital business. We can adapt, we can continue as normal, and that is what we are trying to do. So I had a very interesting conversation yesterday. Something really cool is in the pipeline, not just obviously for lockdown, but beyond lockdown. Myself and a couple of other devoted people in South Africa and around the world are coming together to invite you to be part of a conversation in which you get to ask questions and interact with a few key people in digital business operations, where you can get the answers you need that pertain particularly to your business, to your skill set, to your line of work, or whether it is retrenchment that you're facing and you need to find new employment opportunities. And part of that conversation was communication environment and climate particularly. So around the world, we see particular instances of many people adhering to lockdown regulations, and then on the other hand, to a lot of people not being compliant. So we have seen South African leadership, particularly President Ramaphosa and the cabinet ministers, we've seen and heard them. We've seen our media address them, ask questions, communicate problems happening on the ground around South Africa toward the ministers for them to deliberate on, come together with the Command Council, and then come back to South Africans with a solution based on that information. We're seeing the media work together with the government, and I think that it sets a very good example for countries around the world. There are a few countries which, up until now, have been positioned very strongly as global leaders. And when I look at the kind of response that South African leadership have applied to the situation, I think there's so much that we as a country can be proud of. And just going back to this issue of communication, and one of the reasons why lockdown it's bringing up all kinds of emotions, it's bringing up all kinds of communication issues. Some people are facing severe depression and anxiety, being in lockdown, stuck at home. Obviously, we have technology like the kind that allows me to make this video and communicate with you, but there are so many layers to communication. And I know that my fellow graduate class, my fellow corporate communication practitioners and communication specialists around the world, you will agree with me when, we say that there's this layer of complexity. First and foremost, there are the people that we live with. If you do share a home with someone, there are certain informational boundaries that you have, obviously within yourself, your own internal dialogue, your mental dialogue, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, the way you deal and process those. And then there are the people that you live with, and then your circle kind of radiates outwards, right? You have immediate family, you have extended family, you have your work family, you have people maybe in the complex or estate where you live, in the building, you have neighbors on the street, the road, you have the neighborhood, you have your church congregation and fellow citizens at your place of worship. So as you widen that circle of communication, you start to build in these layers of how you communicate different information, both providing and receiving, with various people. And suddenly being pushed into this environment where a lot of that is now forced through a single channel. So there's no having coffee with friends, there's no seeing a gym buddy for your workout session or at your regular weekly gym class. There's a lot of impact on how we are expected to adapt. And not everybody has the ability to purchase data or access data sources to even be able to communicate online. So some people are literally being forced to contend with what is within the four walls around them, if they are even lucky enough to have four walls. So just in terms of understanding all those who are not adhering, it is frustrating for people like you and me who have resources and have the ability to easily comply. It's not as easy as we think for everybody else. So I'm going to use this opportunity today to ask everybody, just like President Ramaphosa did, can we just take a moment, educate each other, help each other, try and get down to the level of people who you think are ignorant, people who you think are arrogant. I've tried my absolute best. I've seen lots of shocking videos, people intentionally trying to spread germs and people licking trolley handles and doing all kinds of crazy things. But it shows you how strong the need for our input is. So if there's one thing that you can do, if you get frustrated seeing these social media videos, the comments, the fake news, all of those things, let's use the opportunity. Let's come together. Let's educate people. Let's try all the different ways, the languages, the different approaches of helping one another out. The end goal is to defeat and completely eradicate the coronavirus, and we all have a part to play in that. So that's my question, my advice, my topic for today. And in the next couple of days, we'll probably be making another video related to business.